What's up everyone and welcome! In this episode, we're going to discuss the hack against the Ukrainian government's websites. The Ukraine has said it has evidence that Russia was behind a cyber attack that defaced its government websites and alleged that Moscow was engaging in an increasing hybrid war against it. Let's see what else we can learn to protect ourselves and others from this story.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
The Ukraine has said it has evidence Russia was behind a massive cyber attack that knocked out key government websites last week, while Microsoft warned the hack could be far worse than first thought. Tensions are at an all-time high between the Ukraine and Russia, which Kyiv accuses of having amassed troops on its border before a possible invasion. Some analysts fear the cyber attack could be the prelude to a military attack. On Friday, Washington also accused Russia of sending saboteurs trained in explosives to stage a false flag operation that could be the pretext to invading its pro-Western neighbor. All the evidence points to Russia being behind the cyber attack, the Ukrainian digital transformation minister said in a statement on Sunday. Moscow is continuing to wage a hybrid war. The ministry urged Ukrainians not to panic, saying their personal information was protected. The purpose of the attack, it added, is not only to intimidate society, but also destabilize the situation in Ukraine, halting the work of the public sector and crushing Ukrainians' trust in authorities. For its part, the Kremlin rejected the claims and said there was no evidence Russia was behind the attack. We have nothing to do with it. Russia has nothing to do with these cyber attacks, Vladimir Putin's spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told CNN. Ukrainians are blaming everything on Russia, even their bad weather in their country, he said in English. Kyiv said late on Friday that it had uncovered preliminary clues Russian security services could have been behind the cyber attack. The SBU security service said the attacks in the early hours of Friday had targeted a total of 70 government websites. Microsoft warned on Sunday that the cyber attack could prove destructive and affect more organizations than initially feared. The company said it continued to analyze the malware and warned it could render government digital infrastructure completely inoperable. The malware, which is designed to look like ransomware but lacking a ransom recovery mechanism, is intended to be destructive and designed to render targeted devices inoperable, rather than to obtain a ransom, Microsoft said in a blog post. It said it had not yet identified a culprit behind the attacks, but warned that the number of affected organizations could prove larger than initially thought. Our investigation teams have identified the malware on dozens of impacted systems, and that number could grow as our investigation continues, Microsoft said. The systems span multiple government, nonprofit, and information technology organizations, all based in Ukraine. We do not know the current stage of this attacker's operational cycle or how many other victim organizations may exist in Ukraine or other geographic locations. Additionally, if you go back to 2017, Russia targeted Ukraine with one of the most damaging cyber attacks on record with the NotPetya virus, causing more than $10 billion in damages globally. That virus, also disguised as ransomware, was a so-called wiper that erased entire networks. In Friday's mass web defacement, a message left by the attackers claimed they had destroyed data and placed it online, which Ukrainian authorities said had not happened. The message told Ukrainians to be afraid and expect the worst. So what can we learn from this? Well, back up, and keep a backup of your backups backed up in your backpack, and put the backpack somewhere safe. But seriously, back up your stuff. The best configuration of a backup process is to have both on-premise or on-site and off-premise or off-site backups, so that in the event that your on-premise or your immediate working network gets infected, you still have that off-premise or off-site backup that you can restore your systems. Now, it's always best that before you transition your on-premise backup to an off-site backup, that you run scans and check the systems and go through some final checks and balances to make sure you're not transferring an infected backup to your off-site system. One final key element that could help even further is to, before you move on-premise to off-premise, take a snapshot of that off-site or off-premise backup, and then keep it completely offline. So then you have 3 backups, so that off-premise, offline backup could be used in case something slips through and the scan is not complete, or some new virus appears that's undetected from your on-premise that gets transferred to your off-premise and then infects everything. You still have that offline to really get back online in that event. So you would have 3 different backups. You would have an on-premise backup, you would have an off-premise backup or an off-site backup somewhere outside of your network, and then before you either do your nightly or your daily or bi-daily or your weekly or whenever you're moving an on-premise backup to your off-premise backup, you take a snapshot or one last copy of your off-premise backup, move it somewhere offline, completely offline, so that it cannot be infected, and then you can take a copy of your on-premise and replace your off-premise backup with that one, again, to keep everything safe just in case you get infected and you need to get back online. You would have 3 opportunities there. With that, I say thanks for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already, and smash the bell if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.